Guys, this is Sunny from CleverFX Investments. Today, we're going to go over Fibonacci retracements. Before we start the lesson, we want to remind you that forex is a risky business and you should trade with caution. And if you ever feel too frustrated to trade your money or you just don't get the markets, let our experts here at CleverFX Investments trade it for you. For more information on that, visit our website at www.cleverfxinvestments.com and go to the Invest With Us tab. Okay, so on to the lesson. What is Fibonacci? Okay, Fibonacci is a mathematician. He found a sequence of numbers that have a special meaning to it. Okay, we call it the golden rule. Okay, we won't get too much into it because it requires a lot of math. We don't want this to be a math lecture. We just want to show you the application of Fibonacci retracements. Okay, so what we usually like to do is we're gonna go to AUD/USD really quick. We're gonna go to 4 hour. Okay. We like to usually draw our retracements on our 4 hour time frame. Okay, now we can click on the Fibonacci retracement tool. Okay, so basically what you want to do, your first step is to identify the latest trend, the most recent trend. Okay, and as you can see here, the market is just moving sideways at the moment with a slight downtrend, but with a moving sideways on the bottom, so we'll call it a sideways trending market. Okay, but the most recent move was this uptrend. Okay, so what we do is we go from our low to high on an uptrend. Okay, we draw from the lowest point to the highest point on an uptrend, and on a downtrend we draw from the highest point to the lowest point. Okay, so in this case we're going to go from our lowest point of the starting of the trend to the ending of the trend. Okay, now as you can see, the 61.8 line, the 61.8 line has held our support pretty well. Okay, so basically we know that the 61.8 line is a good support line. Okay, whenever it approaches that zone, remember, you want to think in zones, not lines. Okay, whenever it approaches that zone, you have a good amount of support. Okay, as you can see, the 50 line has been broken multiple times, so the 50 line not so much as effective as the 61.8 line. Okay, 38.2 only broken about once. It's held pretty well recently on the last two candles. Okay, and it held as good support here. Got broken twice, 3 times here. It's okay. So we call it a medium power trend line or a zone. So whenever it approaches that zone, just be cautious. So the 23.6 zone, it's held as resistance pretty well. Okay, it broke through first. It first broke through on the first retracement, and then it held the resistance pretty well so far. Okay, now what you can do with Fibonacci retracements is you can combine it with other strategies. Okay, in this case, let's do some trend line analysis. Okay, as you can see, this trend line is pretty strong. Okay, it's deflected 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 candles. Okay, from breaking it. Okay, so we know that this trend line is pretty powerful. Okay, and we know that the 38.2 line is pretty powerful as well. Okay, pretty decently powerful. Okay, and as you can see, recently it approached that trend line, hit the 38.2. Okay, this little zone where the lines are starting to come together. And it just means that there's a lot of resistance. Okay, because there's a trend line and there's a pretty strong medium power 38.2 resistance level there. Okay, so you could have took a short here. Okay, pretty simple, right? Once you combine other analysis, okay, let's just say you add another trend line in here. Let's just say like that, or we can add a support and resistance. Okay, we can add this line right about there. Okay, so we know that the 61.8 line is pretty dang supported. It's supported pretty well. Okay, you got this support line right here. You got the support horizontal. Okay, so it's coming into a little triangle. Okay, so the 50 line is going to keep getting broken. It's going to be like glass. It's going to get broken pretty easily. Okay, so basically you can combine Fibonacci retracements with other analysis. Okay, so now let's go to Nzdusd. Okay, we have something in particular that we want to show you guys. Okay, so the most recent move is this uptrend, right? So we take our Fibonacci, we go from lowest to highest, okay? And as you can see, the retracement hasn't happened yet, okay? It's now approaching the 23.6 line, so it could happen, okay? In these cases where the retracement hasn't happened yet, you might be seeing yourself adjusting your Fibonacci's quite often, okay? Let's just go back about 12 hours, okay? Let's just say nothing happened after this, okay? Your Fibonacci retracement would have been this line right here, okay? And it would have went all the way down, approached the 23.6 zone, got pretty close, and used it as support and bounced off, okay? It bounced off that zone pretty well, okay? So once it's bounced off, as you can see, it went higher than your zero line. So what you got to do is basically just adjust it. That's all you got to do, okay? Since the retracement hasn't happened yet, you might have to keep readjusting your line, okay? And then as you can see, it's approaching the 23.6 line again, okay? So meaning it means that the retracement could happen again, okay? So that's basically it. You can combine trend line analysis with Fibonacci's, and you can get some pretty good analysis. See you next time.